Well, Anya got her first taste of being a cold-blooded murderer in Spy Family episode 34. Now, I think technically she didn't kill anyone, but, I'm gonna just imagine in my head she is responsible because she has Yor's weapon, and she tosses it up onto the floor where Yor's fighting for her life. And in comes two goons. The one slips on said weapon, basically knocks his noggin. I'm just gonna assume he has a major concussion, probably bleeding out internally. His gun goes off, shoots the poor fool in front of him, so he falls down, and pointy weapon goes up places that it probably shouldn't. And I just really like to imagine just the fact that a simple throw not only just saved Yor's life potentially, and maybe even the people she was protecting, but the fact that it's all according to plan from her point of view. Even if, somehow they managed to be able to walk that off. At the same time, I just would prefer imagining that Anya just was a psychopathic killer and just absolutely saved the day in that way. But this is why we love Spy Family. Such a good episode, such a good arc. We still have a little bit left. We're going to have vacation mode, which I think all three of them deserve. But the arc is winding down, and it was absolutely the best the Spy Family has seen to date. Now, I do have a full live reaction over on my Patreon. If you would like to see my full thoughts on today's episode, it's over there if you're interested. So, this was interesting. This was a bit of a different change of pace than what we had last week, which was just pure savagery. I mean, the explosions, the fireworks. Unfortunately, the fireworks were over, so the remaining parts of this fight were all in a dimly lit scene. But it was still very easy to keep up to date with what was happening, and they had a lot of fun by giving everyone something to do in the final stretch of this. Of course, Yor is fighting for her life. Anya is pretty much trying to keep the peace and make everything work out. And of course, she also gets her hands a little dirty by tossing that stabby spike up there, and honestly, it was fantastic. But I really liked what they did with Lloyd, because Lloyd is a spy, so he has a lot of characteristics like the ability to read lips, and just a lot of things he notices that your average Joe won't. So the fact that there's bombs all throughout the cruise ship, there's only one person who should be able to deal with that, and that is our boy. Now, it's possible some people on the ship might have a little experience, like maybe they read a book or two, but they're probably not going to be able to disarm a major bomb, let alone dozens that are probably all scattered throughout the ship. So him busting out his disguise and doing what he needs to do was fantastic. But I was just so happy that he tossed the clock over and hit those fools because, man, sometimes you watch Spy Family, and I feel like at least 8 out of 10 times, Spy Family does the thing I really want to see. And not in a way that it's like, oh, the author's predictable, but just there's certain cases where you think, please do this. These scumbags, these idiots, there's only one option. Just commit to it, author. And then when the author does, it's like, oh my god, thank hell. So the main man, who's kind of like responsible for all the bullshit happening and especially planting the bombs, is just chilling on a raft below the ship, just waiting for fireworks to go off and for blood to be splattered everywhere. The one dude who sneaks away during the fighting jumps on the same boat. He's pretty much like, I got a knife, and he's like, I got a gun. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, just stab the damn boat. Just take both your asses out if, this is how it's gonna be. But they did one even better. So one of the bombs is in this antique clock that Anya, thanks to her being her, I mean, if it not for pointing it out, the middle of the ship would have blown up. Now, maybe not the whole ship would have crashed, but a lot of innocent people would have died for sure. And the fact that he didn't really have the time to disarm it after Lloyd then knows about it, he breaks that bitch off, some antique clock, and tosses it over and blows these fools up. And it's not even like it was just that. They gave me exactly what I wanted. I wanted Lloyd to toss that fool off the boat and blow them up. But I was expecting that's all it would be, they would just die from that. Instead, it's even better. They're floating in the water and 2 sharks come and they dead. There's certain characters that don't deserve redemption. There's certain characters deserve a fate that just feels so perfect for them. And them being basically exposed to the bomb, probably, it didn't kill them, but even if it was above them, they probably had some shrapnel. They probably were feeling rather bad. There's a reason those sharks came, and it's because there was blood in the water, and oh my lord, that was a fantastic way to deal with these scumbags. And I think it's interesting because one of the things about this arc that's been really interesting is following Yor as a character who is very much conflicted with her ability to be an assassin, but also wanting this mother and wife role. But it's fake, it's this, that, and the third, I can't really believe it. But when your mission is about protecting a mother who does everything in her power to protect her son no matter the cost, and even she's pretty much encouraging you and just saying, you deserve this. your blood-covered hands does not mean that you can't hug me or my family, and the same goes for your family, of course. The fact that Lloyd also had a little bit of that in this episode, the fact that he's pretty much like, oh, you know, I didn't have a lot of time with the family. He's like, well, my mission is, of course, being a spy. But he's like, wait a second, actually, in this case, the vacation was the mission. I like the fact that both of the parents in the show are really coming out of their shell and appreciating. And I think that little vacation, the little day adventure that they're going to have next week before obviously we shift back into school and work and everything else they're going to show us, I think is really going to help tie that bow to make it feel like, damn, Spy Family really did grow with this family this season. Like, I just think there hasn't been a bad episode in general. There's weaker episodes and then there's stronger episodes. But I think in general, no matter what Spy Family does, we always get to enjoy the goofiness or the silliness, but most importantly, we build the main family dynamic going from some girl who can read minds, a woman who kills for a living, and a man who protects the countries from blowing themselves up, has turned into one of the most genuine families. I mean, it was pretty clear in the beginning of this show that it already felt like that. You just felt like there was a lot of chemistry, a lot of potential. But by the end of this arc, I feel it even stronger, and I'm sure I'll walk out of next week's episode saying the exact same thing, especially now getting the vacation that we deserve. Spy Family has been one of my favorite anime to cover since it started. I think I just saw something very special in it right away, but it's just the fact that it's just so consistent, not only just with a production, but it's just like the way the chemistry and these situations occur. The fact that you can go from goofy faces with Anya to then her tossing a weapon up and, you know, just chaos erupting from that. Characters fighting for their life, bleeding, and just going, I mean, literally, thousands of people were about to die on a cruise ship, and somehow I still come out of this saying, damn, this was actually not that bad of a wholesome arc at multiple points. Yeah, it was very brutal at multiple points, don't get it twisted. I mean, there's a reason she had to cover up so many bruises and bumps, but at the same time, the core thing I walk out in terms of looking at Lloyd, Yor, and Anya is how much closer they are to all admitting that they can trust each other and that this is a genuine family. Even if everything surrounding them was death and chaos, the fact that the main theme, the main selling point of this arc was that they truly are a real family, and they're all getting closer and closer to admitting that out loud. And these are the moments that help progress them, and I really hope the memory that they'll make next week, even if they just go out for dinner, it can be the most simple thing ever, but them spending time after what they all just experienced is going to help remind it and plant it in their mind that these missions aren't all that define them, and they do deserve that happiness. And I'm so happy that the mother that we protected told Yor that when everything's all said and done, she hopes that she gets that happiness with her family, not calling it fake, not calling it this or that. No, she knows, and she believes it, and it's really nice that the director, even though he is strict, I appreciate that he gave her a reward to spend time with her family, and I hope that does say that there is going to be a way out someday for Yor in the future. But let me know what you thought of this week's Spy Family episode down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more videos to the channel. And like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction over on my Patreon if you're interested, and hey, while you're there, you also get a video shout out. So today we have Jay Vorty, Good Stuff, Daniel Kostel, Zington, Ali Hitme, Krzysztof Kowski, and Cellphone Coda. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.